Alright guys, Delzinski here, and today I'm talking Impact Wrestling on Pop. Yes, did I pop for Impact Wrestling? Well, you're about to find out, because I sat down. Yes, miracles do happen, and I'm not talking about Mike Bennett, but miracles do indeed happen, because I watched the entire episode of TNA Impact Wrestling from start to finish. And I'm going to give you my review of this show, because I'm going to be honest with you, I was out of touch with the product for quite some time, and this was an opportunity for TNA to really get me invested back in their product. I mean, I'm going to TNA at Wembley Arena at the end of the month, so I needed to make sure I understood the storylines and what was going on, and hopefully get hyped and reinvested. Did they do that tonight? That's the big question. Or did they do that yesterday night? I mean, I'm watching it on catch up. You're going to find out in this review what I thought of the show. I'm not going to give you a breakdown match by match, but I'm going to give you my good bits, my bad bits, and then there is indeed the cringeworthy moments that I couldn't really stand to watch, because there was two of those, and I really struggled to watch those bits because I was almost tearing my hair out in one of them. Let's put it that way. And it's not the fault of any sort of wrestler or performance. It was because TNA made a schoolboy error. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Impact on Pop. And let's get cracking. If you don't want any spoilers, I suggest you click away now. So the show started with some vignettes to recap and sum up the World Title Tournament, which had been going on. That World Title Tournament, it looked okay. It looked like it had some good matches in it, but I lost, all want to watch it because it was all pre-recorded and we had guys that had left the company. It just didn't work for me. But tonight's show was indeed, a closing of that tournament. You had the semi-final matches and you had the final match for the world title. Now, they had a good vignette at the beginning, but they had a new theme song as well, and that theme, for me, produced by Billy Corgan, doesn't work for this show. They're called TNA Impact Wrestling, so you want the theme song to make an impact, and this theme really doesn't. It's mellow, it's low tempo, it doesn't have any oomph to it, and with TNA starting a new show, it's cool to see that they wanted to, give themselves a new theme. They wanted to brush up on the vignettes. But, I mean, come on. You want an impact. You want to, kick off with a bang. And Billy Corgan's production of this song didn't do that. Well, not for me anyway. I wanted something a bit like when they had that Change Me song, I think when Hulk Hogan was there. That really got me going. It got me hyped. It got me ready for the show. This didn't. But, I'll probably get used to it. Anyway, let's talk about what actually went down on the show, because Dixie Carter kicked off the show and she came out and she basically just did a promo about how great Pop is, almost an exact carbon copy of what they did when they moved to Destination America. She just hyped it like, new horizons and new opportunities, and Pop are going to give us everything we've ever wanted. Like Destination America did. She came out, cut that promo, and then luckily enough, EC3 came out, and this kind of kick-started the evening to get the World Title Tournament going. Now, EC3 for me is by far a massive standout of this show and of TNA, and you have to give TNA props for what they've done with Ethan Carter. I mean, to keep him undefeated for the period of time that they have, they've really made this guy into a great heel. He's fantastic, and he's definitely one of the best bits of the show, and he's definitely one of the best bits for TNA. I mean, I tune in to watch him and watch his segments every single time. I'm a big fan of EC3. I'm not such a big fan of Tyrus, and I'll tell you why in a second, because EC3 came out, there was a bit of banter between him and Dixie. Obviously, EC3 wins that side. But Matt Hardy came out, all the talk about the World Title Tournament. And then I think it was Eric Young hit the ring. And then we had a massive brawl kick-off. We had Lashley out there. It was just, all hell was breaking loose. But this reminded me of the exact same thing that they did when they went to Destination America. They had a mass out-and-out brawl. So why do the same thing? We saw that, and it wasn't that long ago that you're on Destination America and you did, your big launch, and that's what you kicked off with, a massive brawl. This was the same. It was a brawl, and there was too much brawling on this show, in my point of view. Too many attacks from behind, and too much aftermath after matches. But this was a way that they introduced the show. It was alright, but I didn't think it was anything special. Now, let's just talk about the world title tournament as a whole. The matches were good. I thought the matches were decent. EC3 against Lashley was quite good. Eric Young's developing to be a pretty decent heel. Obviously, he's pissed off that he didn't get to the final, because the final was indeed EC3 and Matt Hardy. Shock. I mean, they started the show, they ended the show, and we did indeed crown a new World Heavyweight Champion. And again, it's EC3. It's almost like we've gone full circle here, because no one ever understood why they took the belt off EC3 in the first place. So a little bit weird. I mean, why not just let EC3 stay as champion throughout this period, and then when you launch, he's your cover guy, he's your champion still. But instead now he's a 2-time champion. So there you go. I'm glad that EC3 is champion. I didn't really want to see Matt Hardy as champion, and all the fudgy lawyer stuff was all a bit naff beforehand, but I'm glad that EC3 is going to pick up the title and take the company forward. I feel he's the man to do so. Now, speaking of men to do so and men that can take the company forward, I was very impressed with The Miracle, Mike Bennett and Maria. I mean, TNA put some effort in here. This is a bit like what they did with EC3. They gave this guy a platform and he took it. He absolutely did. He nailed his promo. Even the way that Maria introduced him was cool. I was invested. I wanted to watch. He's got a good look. To me, he seems like, I haven't watched, I think, a lot of Ring of Honor where he was before, but you can see that this is the sort of guy you want in your company. This is a good acquisition from TNA, because I'm already interested in his character. I'm already wanting to know more about The Miracle. So, yeah, that was a massive positive. Mike Bennett looks like he could be a star, could be a superstar. And if they do the same job that they did with EC3, with Mike Bennett, we've got another good guy. And that's what TNA need to continuously work on, getting these guys all up to a level where they all are that caliber of EC3. Now, Jeff Hardy was in attendance, and I cannot say anymore how much they need to get Jeff Hardy back, because the show, the crowd was okay, but they don't feel hyped. But when Jeff Hardy appears, the crowd goes mental. And I'm not the biggest Jeff Hardy fan, but when I saw Jeff Hardy, I was like thinking, oh man, I wish you just get out there and get in the action. So I'm kind of wanting him to come back soon. I think he's still injured, carrying an injury, but Jeff Hardy is a massive importance to TNA. He's a really pivotal part of the cog in TNA, and if they can get him back and going, they've got a guy there, a top face that they can really push in the mix with people like Mike Bennett, EC3, and move forward with that. And I think that Hardy, as in Jeff, does it better than Hardy as in Matt. So yeah, that would be a good move from my point of view. Now, I'm just looking at my notes because I'm going to start moving into the bits I didn't like. And there were some, and then there were the bits that made me pull my hair out. So let's talk about the bits I didn't like. Kurt Angle came to the ring. I like that. I'm a massive fan of Kurt Angle, and he got all emotional. I didn't quite understand it at first. I know he's sort of coming to the end of his TNA time, and he wanted to pick a final opponent, and I think that's what I got the grasp of it, was that he picked Drew Galloway. That's cool. That's cool. That's going to be a good match. But that kind of chopped and changed. I don't think that's going to happen now. Bit confusing. Wish they just stuck with that. But we had Eli Drake come out. But before we had Eli Drake come out, we had the man, Jesse Goddard. And, Jesse Goddard actually is an alright athlete, but giving him the name the man, I can just not take this guy seriously. Like, the minute I saw him coming, I was like, really? So anyway, the man come out, and Eli Drake, and I don't really like Eli Drake. I'm finding him rather boring. So they came out, and this just got messy. Again, culminated in some sort of brawl. wasn't necessary. Sometimes less is more. Cut a promo, walk away, build some anticipation for something to go on to. They didn't do it. They just rushed it and they had a brawl and that was it. Yeah, nothing new there then. So I wasn't keen on that segment, to be honest with you. I didn't think it did anything for Kurt Angle. It didn't do anything for Drew Galloway. And Eli Drake and The Man really were not the men. So, yeah, didn't like that. Bram and Bobby Roode. Now, it was an open challenge from Bobby Roode for his King of the Mountain title. Please, TNA, get a new championship. Like, new show, new network. I mean, give Bobby Roode a new title, like a fresh looking title, not the stupid old TV title that you once had, or whatever it was, Global Championship. Now it's King of the Mountain. Refresh that for Bobby Roode. You could have done that. But anyway, this was all building to a massive segment, an exciting segment, because rumours all week whether or not James Storm was going to come back to TNA or was he going to stay in NXT. This was the moment. So, I'm sitting there. I already know. I've seen the spoilers. Unfortunately, I did. I'm sitting there, right? And the end of the match happens. And EY hits the ring again. Another brawl breaks out. See what I mean? An ongoing theme. Another brawl. EY and this time Bram attacking Bobby Roode, right? And fucking hell. This is the bit that made me pull my hair out. I was like, right? Because as I'm watching, obviously they were supposed to play certain music. And I think they were going to play Bobby Roode's when he got the victory. But they played the freaking can opening noise for Beer Money. Your biggest moment was the fact that James Storm was going to be on this show. You'd kept it hidden. You'd done quite a good job. James Storm had worked his ass off to keep his mouth shut. And then they played the noise and spoilt it. I was like, no. Who's pressed that button? I couldn't believe it. So, they'd done that, and then I think Josh Matthews says, technical issue or something like that. You made it worse. Don't say that. Just be quiet. And then, obviously, James Storm hits the ring, and it's a Beer Money reunion. Whoop-de-doo, hardy-da. That's schoolboy, TNA. Get your sounds right, get your music set, this is nothing to do with the talent, this is just poor production. Get your shit together with these things. That was a good surprise, that was something that was awesome, and for me, you spoiled it. I don't even know, maybe it was meant to be a hint that something was going to happen, but why would you do that? Anyway, that hacked me off. And that was the bit that made me tear my hair out. I think I've repeated myself about that like 50 times, but it really did. Got any hair left? Yeah, only just. Anyway, there was another bit that was ridiculous, but this was, I felt sorry for the guy because before that happened, Bram came out. I'm a bit all over the place in this review, but I mean, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you kind of catch him adrift. But Bram came out and cut a promo, and oh man. He was meant to say that 2016 was going to be his year, and he said 2006. How can you do that? I felt so sorry for the bloke. I mean, even like a bloke in the crowd goes, 2006? I mean, like everybody's sitting there thinking, what? And he said it like a couple of times. He's going, 2006 is going to be my year. And I was like, it's 2016, mate. It's 2016. Come on. And then he finally grasped it and corrected himself. But, oh, man. That was bad. So they were the two bits that I really despised. I felt so bad for Bram. I couldn't watch it. I was like going, no. He's cocked it up. But, I mean, the other bit, the technical hitch, I mean, that's unacceptable. You want to get your audience back and you spoil a massive segment. Don't do that. Anyway, there was good, there was bad. Where did I end up with TNA after this show? About 50-50. I wanted them to knock my socks off tonight. They gave me indications that they can put on a good show. The matches of the tournament were fine. You know, they've got good superstars. They can put on decent matches. Eric Young's developing as a really good heel. You know, he just generates a dislike to him. That's great. They need that. Lashley is always in form as a competitor. Rude, obviously, is top-notch. Beer Money coming back's a good thing. I think that's cool. I'm surprised Storm went back to TNA, but he did. Sounds like money was the issue. So, you know, they have got good elements. And as I say, Mike Bennett looks fantastic. And putting EC3 as your champion, very cool. I like that. He's the sort of guy you should have as your champion. Don't mess it up this time. But there were some schoolboy errors. They must correct them. And they must stop this brawling shit. I mean, I don't need to see people just getting jacked from behind every 5 minutes. You know, think about it. Invest more. Less is more sometimes. People can walk away and look good. So, yeah. I will be watching. If you want me to review it more, then let me know via the comment section below. I mean, I haven't reviewed TNA in a long time, so I thought I'd do it on camera. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, let me know what you think by the comment section below of TNA and my review. So yeah, get involved. Did you pop for Impact Wrestling? I was like, not sure. 50-50. So, until the next one, all that's left to be said is please rate, comment, and subscribe. This is Delzinski, signing out.